Ella stood in front of her mirror, tugging at her jeans that no longer fit comfortably. At 42, she felt frustrated. Her confidence eroded by years of yo-yo dieting, cabbage soup, low-carb, juice cleanses, you name it. Each attempt left her feeling defeated, her weight fluctuating like a seesaw. She sighed, remembering the podcast she'd heard last week. The phrase muscle-centric medicine stuck with her, but it sounded intimidating. Muscles? That was for bodybuilders, not for a busy mom like her, or was it? Ella's story wasn't unique. Like many, she'd spent decades chasing weight loss, believing that shedding pounds was the key to health, but those words she heard of the podcast echoed, "The problem isn't being over-fat, it's being under-muscled." Ella wondered if she'd been approaching health all wrong. Could focusing on building muscle, not losing fat, really change her life? She decided to find out, embarking on a journey that would challenge her assumptions, reframe her goals, and uncover the power of her body's largest organ, her skeletal muscles. Ella started small, revisiting the podcast's key points that skeletal muscles, making up 40% of body weight, weren't just for flexing in the gym. They were the body's metabolic engine, secreting myokines that boosted brain health, regulated blood sugar, and fought diseases like diabetes and cancer. Ella was stunned. She'd never thought of her muscles as an organ, let alone one that could reverse aging or improve her mood. But doubt crept in. What if this is just another fitness fad, she wondered, playing devil's advocate. The fitness industry often pushed quick fixes, six-pack abs, bikini bodies, making health feel superficial. Was this muscle talk any different? Unlike trendy diets that depleted her energy, this approach promised to build her up from the inside out. She decided to trust the evidence, but vowed to stay skeptical, testing each step herself. The first recommendation was a protein-forward diet. Ella learned that protein, made of 20 amino acids, was essential for muscle health. These sand grains built her body's architecture, improved satiety, and made it hard to gain fat. The average woman consumed 60 to 68 grams of protein daily, but it was suggested 100 to 130 grams for someone Ella's size, 138 pounds at her ideal weight. Ella was stopped in her tracks. Won't that make me bulky? Her inner skeptic raised a flag, conditioned by years of hearing that women should eat like birds to stay thin. But the math was compelling. At 400 calories for 100 grams, protein had a thermic effect, burning 20% of those calories during digestion. Studies showed overeating protein improved body composition, not weight gain. Ella tested this by swapping her morning cereal, 13 grams protein, 50 grams carbs, for a protein shake with 40 grams of whey protein and berries. To her surprise, she felt fuller longer, avoiding her usual 10 a.m. donut craving. Maybe there's something to this, she thought, though she wondered if vegans could pull it off. Playing devil's advocate again, Ella considered her vegan friend Maya. Plant-based proteins like quinoa were lower in essential amino acids like leucine, requiring 6 cups to match a 3-ounce beef patty's muscle-building power. That's carbicide. Ella laughed, but vegan protein powders balanced amino acids, and whole food vegans could aim for 35% more protein. Ella shared this with Maya, who felt empowered to tweak her diet without compromising her values. The second pillar was resistance training, the non-negotiable for muscle health. Ella pictured gyms filled with grunting men lifting heavy barbells. Not for me, she thought, intimidated. But resistance training could be push-ups, bands, or machines, any move against weight. For beginners, 2 full-body sessions a week, 20-30 minutes each, were enough. High-intensity interval training, HIIT, once a week, like 10 rounds of 45-second air squats, could amplify results. Ella's skeptic piped up, "What about yoga or Pilates? They're less scary but aren't optimal for muscle growth. Resistance training targeted muscles directly, improving strength and metabolism." Ella started with bodyweight squats and push-ups at home. After 2 weeks, she felt a subtle shift, more energy, better mood. Her blood sugar, once erratic, stabilized, confirmed by her annual checkup. "This is working," she marveled, though she wondered why women needed specific tweaks. Women might benefit from higher volume or pushing to fatigue, but the basics, 2 to 3 sessions weekly, worked for all. Ella added a resistance band, doing bicep curls during work breaks. She noticed her arms firming up after 6 weeks, not bulky, but strong. "I'm not shrinking. I'm emerging," she realized. Ella's journey wasn't without hurdles. Social media bombarded her with fitness influencers flaunting perfect bodies, triggering comparison. She related to Maddie, a 19-year-old podcast listener who binged at night, her mood tied to her image. Limit social media to 30 minutes daily and focus on internal goals like doing 10 pull-ups, not external looks. Ella tried this, unfollowing accounts that made her feel inadequate and setting a goal to hold a plank for a minute. Her binging urges faded as she prioritized how she felt, not how she looked. But Ella questioned this approach. "Isn't some comparison motivating?" she thought. Maybe seeing fit people inspired effort. Yet she noticed comparison often paralyzed her, making her feel unworthy. Focusing on mental toughness, choosing discipline over distraction, helped Ella reframe her gym time as self-care, not a race to look like someone else. She admired unique traits in others, noticing a neighbor's confident stride or a coworker's infectious laugh. This shifted her mindset, making her feel connected, not competitive. Ella also thought about her 24-year-old daughter Sophie, a workaholic mirroring Vicky's daughter from the podcast. Sophie skipped exercise, claiming no time, and had gained 25 pounds. Ella worried but framed health as a tool for success, not a chore. What if Sophie saw exercise as a performance booster? Ella suggested a 20-minute walk during lunch breaks, tying it to sharper focus at work. Sophie resisted, arguing she was fine. Ella countered with data. Even healthy, sedentary 18-year-olds showed muscle decline. Sophie relented, trying a gym session. After a month, she admitted feeling sharper at work, a small but hopeful step. Ella's skepticism lingered. Is this muscle focus too narrow? What about heart health or flexibility? It was emphasized that muscle health underpinned everything. Strong muscles improved cardiovascular function, reduced Alzheimer's risk, and enhanced resilience against illness. Ella saw this in her 85-year-old mother-in-law, an Energizer bunny who lifted weights and radiated vitality. I want that at 85, Ella thought, committing to her new standards, not fleeting goals. 8 weeks in, Ella felt transformed. She wasn't thinner but stronger, her jeans fitting better. Her energy soared, her mood stabilized, and her doctor praised her improved blood sugar. She'd gained 2 pounds of muscle, not fat, and felt liberated from calorie counting. The mantra, "It's not what you lose, it's what you gain," became Ella's guide. She set standards, 30-50 grams protein per meal, 2 resistance sessions weekly, and a weekly HIIT burst. These weren't goals to check off, but a lifestyle to live. Ella shared her story with friends, sparking conversations about health beyond diets. She empathized with their struggles, remembering her own decades of frustration. We've been sold a lie. That health is about shrinking, she thought. By focusing on muscle, she'd unlocked a currency of strength, confidence, and longevity. Even her skeptic agreed. This wasn't a fad, but a science-backed path to thriving. As Ella did her morning squats, she smiled, feeling her muscles, her organ of longevity, come alive. She wasn't chasing a smaller waist but a bigger life, one rep at a time.